Everybody, we are going to get started. Welcome to my living room. Thank you for joining me. I do have two cats, so they will be probably coming in and out throughout practice, but hopefully they won't be disruptive today. This is Felix in the back, and Kufu is walking up right now, so you can say hi to Kufu. So they'll probably be hanging around, but this is our restorative yoga class. I have a couple new people adding today, which is amazing. Welcome. My name is Sammy. I've been teaching yoga for several years now and just really fell in love with the restorative practice. I do teach a flow class as well, but just restore right now for Yoga Fit. So loving that. If you have any questions about restore in general or just Yoga Fit classes, let me know over in the chat box, or you can stay on after class today and we can have a little chat. Otherwise, we are going to get started. Like I mentioned previously, at any point throughout today, if you notice that there's an area in the body that is just really like firing up or is asking for a little bit more attention, by all means, feel free to add that into your own practice without my guidance. But if you would like me to guide you through a few poses, let me know again over in that chat box, and we'll just work that into the sequence so that we can serve everybody tonight. Again, if you haven't already, please grab either a pillow or a blanket. This will just help support you in some of the deeper holds. We'll also make the postures just a little bit more comfortable on some of those longer holds as well. So with that, we will get started. Today we're using the same playlist that I use every class. It's called Restorative Yoga, found on Spotify. My Spotify is just sammy.fussy22. And Fussy is Fussy, Sammy is Sammy. And then again, the podcast or playlist is called Restorative Yoga. We will get started here in finding a seated position. I'm starting the first song in that playlist. It's called Awakening. So making your way to a seated posture and then adjusting that posture to serve you and your practice. So again, if you would like, you can kind of tailor this practice to fit your body the best way. And so if you would like a little bit more space or support in your hips tonight, I encourage you to use your pillow or your blanket to just sneak that underneath the hips for a little bit more space. You can also sit in more of a relaxed cross-legged position, taking a little bit of a wider stance. This may be a little bit more comfortable on the knees as well as the hips and ankles. If you don't want to cross your legs, again, feel free to just extend them longer, find a comfortable position, and then bringing your hands to either your knees or your lap. We're just going to close our eyes here and take a couple of deep breaths. We're just bringing that air in through the nose and out through the mouth. And more just like this, in through the nose, out the mouth. The deeper inhale, maybe bringing just a little bit more breath in, holding it here at the top, and then exhale, let it go. And continuing to flow at your own breath pace. So again, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Just finding that steady rhythm within you, letting your body guide your breath in your practice. Breathing into the body as you start to meet yourself on your mat. So letting go of the hustle and bustle of the day, letting go of your to-do list. Instead, just enjoying this moment of stillness. Maybe this is the first moment you've really checked in with yourself today. So let yourself really connect. Notice the feelings. Notice any thoughts that keep coming up for you on your mind. Maybe there's someone that's just really on your heart today. You can extend a little bit of extra love towards them. Maybe you're just finding this really deep connection with yourself in your practice this evening, so you can direct that love right back at yourself. Thank yourself for showing up for you today. Being here, taking the time to really give back to the mind and the body. As you settle in here, starting to notice your posture or where your body maybe naturally rests. Typically, we kind of have this hunched, rounded forward shoulder positioning where we just kind of hang out or slump in our seat. So I encourage you to really sit up straight, puff up the chest, roll those shoulders up, back, and down. We're going to build our alignment here, kind of starting like Legos, building from the bottom up. So we'll start right at our roots or our hips tonight. Feeling those sit bones connected to either our prop or the floor, excuse me. Again, whichever one you have chosen for your practice. Just feeling that connection, maybe swaying side to side a little in your seat to really connect, to really feel that connection with the ground. And as you find that connection, really think or picture your own roots, just connecting to the earth, drawing closer to that support system beneath you. And continuing to take these deep breaths in through the nose. You can continue to breathe out the mouth, or if it feels better for you at this point, you can close the mouth and just breathe in and out through the nose. Really taking time today to get grounded. Now that we've found that really great root connection with our seat, we're moving up the body, finding our pelvis or our hips. Maybe it feels better for you to bring your hands physically to your hips tonight to feel again that connection. And then stacking your hips right over your sit bones. So in my mind, or how I would visualize this, there's a little subtle tuck of the tailbone that's kind of scooping down and up, really connecting my ribs towards my hips, giving me this really straight or strong foundation in my core. And continuing to breathe. Now we're locating our rib cage again. Feel free to bring your hands to your ribs to get that connection. Almost physically pressing the hips, or the rib cage rather, back in space to stack right over those hips and your pelvis. To me, this requires a core engagement, so I'm feeling a little bit of a firing sensation, but still feeling really strong and supported here. And continuing to move up the body now, finding the shoulders, giving yourself a big up, squeezing back and down, letting those shoulders rise and fall. And letting them settle in so that they're resting right over your hips as well. So you've got this really great stacked foundation for your body. And as you sit here, think or picture your spine growing just a little bit taller, sinking or raising just a little bit higher towards the sky. At the same time, the hips are really rooting down into the ground. Continuing to breathe. Feel a subtle lift of the heart as your heart reaches up towards the sky or out into the world. And then finalizing, working all the way up to the head, the crown of the head here. You can picture or even physically doing this action, grabbing the tips or the tops of the ears, and just gently pulling them up. So cause with just a subtle tuck of the chin. You may create a nice little double or triple chin here. That's okay. It's all for the case of alignment here. Working to find that strong, straight spine. Just sit here. Maybe this is a very uncomfortable posture for you. I encourage you, if it's not painful, to sit in that uncomfortability. Sometimes our greatest lessons come from those moments when we're most out of our comfort zone or most out of our comfortability. Just breathing into that discomfort, acknowledging it for what it is. Maybe you're noticing, hey, I don't really sit up very straight day to day, so this feels really foreign in my body. That's okay. There's no right or wrong here. It's just becoming more aware of how your body is. Nobody's judging you, so you shouldn't be judging yourself. There's no expectation, no box to tick off. You're just right here in the moment, connecting with your body and connecting your body to the earth. Let's bring our hands into heart center. Pressing the palms together, pressing the fingers and even the fingertips into one another. Feeling that connection. Feeling the power, the strength that you hold within you, right between your hands. Let's take a deep breath in, sweep those arms overhead. Exhale, hands through heart center. Let's do one more of those just for you this time. Inhale, sweep the arms. Exhale, hands through heart center. Now blinking the eyes open. We're going to transition through seated posture to find a tabletop pose. Keeping your prop handy, as we'll use that later on in class. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. For tonight's practice, let's curl the toes under. We're going to start to feel a little bit of a stretch at the bottom of the feet. Maybe find some organic movement here to start, swinging hips side to side, forward and back. Just finding that movement in your own body. Listening to whatever your body is asking for here. When you're ready, we'll flow together through our cat and cow series. So continuing to keep our toes curled under this evening. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, broadening the shoulders. Think about creating space between your collarbones. And then exhale, round the spine, press away from the earth as you bring your gaze through the legs. Squeezing the core up towards the spine. Inhale, drop belly, lift gaze, cow pose. Exhale, press away, round the spine. One more here. Inhale, the cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. And coming back to tabletop. Now from our tabletop pose with our toes curled under, just like this, we're slowly going to start to walk the hands back towards the knees for our foot stretch. If this is already a lot of sensation here, continuing to keep hands planted on the ground, you can just stop right here and breathe into that sensation. Otherwise, if you are looking for a little bit of a deeper stretch, you can walk the hands up the thighs, bringing yourself to seat right over the heels and the hips. And just breathing deeply, maybe bringing your hands back towards the toes and spreading the toes a little bit wider. And now while you breathe, I'll tell you what this pose is doing so we can take our mind off of this uncomfortability. So continuing to sit tall and straight in the spine, let those shoulders sink down the back. So while we stretch out the feet, we're giving a lot back to the feet. We're also stretching out the arches, creating blood flow to the feet, but we're also stimulating our inner organs. So our feet are connected to our inner organs, and when we stretch or press on certain points, it stimulates blood flow to those inner organs, and as those inner organs create or get more blood flow, they in turn press the toxins out. So those toxins are now kind of flowing freely within the body. So I encourage you after class this evening to drink a lot of water to help fully flush them out of the body. Take one more deep breath in. Yes, you can. Staying for the full exhale. Begin to move on your next inhale, slowly walking the hands forward. Coming back to tabletop and untucking the toes. Gently tapping them on the tops of the mat now. Really let that go. And now finding stillness, we'll bring the big toes to touch, taking knees out wide. Sink your hips onto your heels. So you walk the hands forward and front, bringing the forehead down towards the mat. If your forehead does not reach the mat, feel free to use your prop this evening underneath your forehead for a little bit of extra space and support. And continuing to breathe deeply. It's going to be our first longer hold. So start to breathe into this posture. Notice where you're feeling the pose the most. Maybe tonight it's in the ankles, the knees. Start to guide your breath to those joints. Maybe you're feeling this pose a little bit in your low back. Try walking the knees a little bit closer together. This is going to give you a little bit more support. You need a little bit more space in the hips. Feel free to take the knees a little bit wider here. As you sink even deeper with your breath, let the belly feel soft. Let the heart melt down towards the ground. Allow those shoulders to sink out of the ears, down the spine. Maybe softening that bend in the elbows just a little bit more here to support the relaxation of the shoulders. And again, you're breathing deeply here. As you notice thoughts or worries, judgments, expectations, whatever it is, as you notice those things come into your mind, you can say hello to them, notice them flowing in, but then just let them go on your next exhale. Show them to the door, allow them to walk out. Breathing deeply. And in this pose, your heart down towards the ground, maybe you extend a little bit of gratitude for the earth beneath you that always supports you. This earth we call home. This earth that provides water and food and every nutrient that we need to survive. How lucky are we to be gifted such a beautiful, beautiful home. So filled with love and life. Sometimes in our lives, we can get caught up in everything that's going around us, or people's lives, people's drama, societal pressures, all of that factor into our experience of life. Sometimes we get really sucked into that and we lose sight of ourselves, and lose sight of what we need to do to create a better experience for not only ourselves and our families and our loved ones, but for the rest of the world. I encourage you to always come back to gratitude. Second those moments of anxiety or worry, stress, pressure, negativity start to come into the mind, flip the switch. You can picture it like a mental switch. I actually had a therapist help me visualize that actual flipping of a switch, flipping or changing your perspective, changing the way you think, giving yourself that positive spin in any situation, letting yourself feel whatever it is you're feeling, but then flipping the switch, moving on, coming back to gratitude. Now, if you'd like, here in child's pose, you can slowly lift the gaze, walking the hands over to the right side of the mat, extending the hands long, maybe even stacking the left hand on top of the right, and then sinking back in. Just creating a little bit of a side body stretch here. And if you took that side body variation, please walk your hands back through center, walking the hands all the way over to the left, stacking right hand on top of left, sinking down towards the heels, really pressing your right hip deeper here. And inhale, walk the hands back through neutral. We'll make our way back up to tabletop. From tabletop, we're going to move our prop off to the side again, just keeping it handy to use later on in our practice. And then from this pose, we're going to inhale, right fingertips high to the sky. Start to roll out the wrist, moving in both directions. And then taking some shoulder circles, 2 towards the front, and then reversing 2 towards the back. Inhale, right fingertips high, bringing your gaze with them. Exhale, thread the needle, right arm comes under, left, right cheek comes down to the mat. You keep your left hand planted right by your face underneath your shoulder. Otherwise, you can reach those fingertips up to the left corner of the mat. to stretch out the shoulder just a little bit more. And then breathing back into wherever you're feeling the stretch. If you prefer to take a half bind here, feel free to do so by just wrapping that left arm behind your back. Exhale, bring the left hand back down to the mat. Pressing down into the hand to inhale, sweep right fingertips back to the sky. Exhale, tabletop. Same thing on the other side now. Inhaling, left fingertips high, rolling out the wrists to start. Moving in both directions here. And then 2 big arm circles towards the front. 2 big circles towards the back. Inhale, left fingertips high. Exhale, thread your needle, left arm under right, left cheek down to the mat. Again, option here to keep the right hand planted right by your face, or you can extend that arm up towards the right top corner of the mat. You're looking for more of a twisted sensation here, wrapping the right arm behind your back for a half bind and really pressing into your left shoulder. Breathing wherever you are. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, bring your right hand back down underneath the right shoulder. Press down into your palm. Inhaling, left fingertips back to the sky. Exhale, come back to tabletop. Now from our tabletop pose, we're just gonna open the chest up a little bit more here. We're gonna take some scorpion up dogs. So to do this, we're going to bring our big toes to touch again. Knees are gonna come a little bit wider than our hips width distance. Now focusing really greatly on our shoulders or our elbows here. I do have double jointed elbows, so hopefully this will still make sense to everybody without the visual. But we're gonna start to bend those elbows back in towards the chest as we start to bring our heart down towards the ground. And once our chin gets close to the mat, we're going to inhale, sweeping up, lifting the toes off of the ground, pressing the head towards the lifted feet. Straightening the arms, opening up the heart as we bring our gaze upward. Exhale, thinking about rounding the spine and sending the hips back to child's pose. Forehead comes down to the mat to rest for a breath. On your next inhale, scoop the chest forward. Our arms are already bent. We're starting to lift the toes off of the mat as we press our chest through and up. Exhale, round the spine. Send the hips back. One more cycle here. Inhale, sweeping and rolling the chest. Exhale, rounding the spine. Press back. From our posture here, we're going to slowly come back up to tabletop. From our tabletop pose, we can walk the knees in back to neutral. Find some movement here if it feels good in the body. And when you're ready, we're lowering down to our bellies, taking your time to transition. Coming all the way down, we'll keep our hands posted right underneath our shoulders, keeping those elbows tucked in tight towards our body. You can bring the chin down to the chest or down to the mat to start. Now bringing our awareness or our focus to our legs. We're going to squeeze our feet together, squeezing the calves, the knees, the inner thighs, the glutes, really zipping up the legs and then pressing down with the feet. This is going to engage the core. Feel the belly button lift towards the spine. So you really squeeze everything actively here. On your next inhale, slowly squeezing the core even more, lift the chest. for Cobra Pose. So keeping our gaze right up at that top edge of the mat in front of us, continuing to really forcefully press down with our feet. Breathing deeply, take another deep breath in, lift just a little higher. Yes, you can. Press the shoulders back, squeeze the elbows and the triceps in towards the body. And exhale, bring the chin back down. Keeping the hands as they are, you can release the legs. Just take a moment of breath. If it feels more comfortable, you can bring your left or your right cheek down to the mat for a moment. And again, you can wiggle out the low body just to release. We're going to take one more round of Cobra, and then we're slowly going to start to add on here. It's really working open the chest and the heart, shoulder girdle this evening. And when you're starting to feel ready, we'll find stillness. Again, focusing on the legs, zipping up the legs, press the feet together. Press the legs down into the ground. And inhale, slowly lift the chest, Cobra Pose. Little to no weight here in the hands. If you'd like, you can hover the hands off the mat, squeezing the shoulders even closer together. Breathing deeply, lift just a little higher. Yes, you can. Another deep breath in. Exhale, bring yourself back down. This time we're going to take belly down Shavasana, bringing both of our hands down by our side and bringing the left cheek to the mat. And let the arms rest as they are. Breathing deeply here. Again, wiggle out the low body. Let yourself release. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, turn your chin back to center. From here, we're bringing the elbows underneath the shoulders. Arms are coming out in front of us. We're going to take our Sphinx pose. So in Sphinx, our arms are parallel with one another. Our legs, again, just like our Cobra Pose, zipping up, pressing down into the ground. Fingers are spread super wide here, like as wide as you possibly can. Really try to make that connection with each part of your palm and the floor. It's a little bit of a challenge, but I believe you can do it. And then take a nice deep breath in. As you do so, think about rolling those shoulders back, opening up the chest, almost like you were gonna shove your chest right through your arms here. Now pressing down firmly into the forearms to lift the chest a little higher, keeping the gaze right out in front, just like the Sphinx out in Egypt. You think of yourself just like that pyramid, a beautiful structure, so tall, so strong, so elongated and elegant. That's exactly how you are right here, right now. Breathe into it. Taking another deep breath in, press, press, press away. And exhale, belly down Shavasana, bringing both palms down towards the ground, bringing the right cheek to the mat this time. Relax the low body and breathe. Feel the low back starting to open up with your breath. From here, keeping your face as it is, we're going to extend our right arm out to a T. Pressing the right palm down into the ground again, spreading fingers wide. Bring the left hand underneath your left shoulder and slowly start to roll onto your right arm. You're going to create a really awesome opening in the front of the right arm, the right shoulder. If you're not feeling it here, you can reach that left foot back just a little bit further, really deepening the stretch. Keeping the right hand as your support here, right underneath the shoulder. Continuing to breathe deeply. If it feels better for you, you can goalpost the arm. It's going to deepen that stretch even more. Another deep breath in. And exhale, slowly roll back to your belly. Taking your time to transition with care. Bring the right hand back down to the ground, or to your side rather, and extending the left arm out to the T. We're going to flip our face here, so bringing the left cheek down to the mat. Again, option to take a goal-posted position with your left arm rather than an extended position. Again, we're bringing right fingertips under the right shoulder. Take a deep breath in. On your exhale, slowly start to roll onto your left side. Again, option here to reach that right foot back a little bit more. Deepening the stretch. And just breathe right here. You may notice differences from one side to the other, but that's okay. That's totally normal. Just noticing. Once again, meeting ourselves where we're at this evening. And on your next exhale, slowly rolling back to your belly. As you make your way back here, bring the left arm underneath the shoulder and slowly press the chest up. Making your way all the way back to tabletop, and take some time here to unwind. For me, it's calling for a cat and cow, maybe a little bit of a sway of the hips. Listen to your body. It will tell you what it needs to unwind. And just honor whatever it is that comes up. Maybe you just need to rest. Take a moment to breathe. Again, that's a great option as well. From here, when you're ready, we're going to bring our hips down to our left side, extending the arms, or the legs rather, out long in front. So breathing deeply as we transition, just like we would if we were holding a static stretch. We're going to extend our legs long on the mat. So we're going for that straighter leg positioning here right at first. We're going to take a seated staff pose. So to do so, we're extending the legs all the way and then drawing the toes back towards the face, so we're actively pressing energy through the bottoms of our feet. Now bringing our hands by our side, I like to bring the palms so that they face or even touch, connecting to the hips. Spreading again, fingers super wide. Take a deep breath in. As you do so, press the arms into your body. As you press them into the ground, this is going to help you open up the shoulder, really creating this traction in the chest, giving yourself even more opening. And just like we did in our seated posture, that subtle tuck of the chin to really find that strong, straight alignment within the spine. We're going to breathe here for 3 full breath cycles. So take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Big inhale. Big exhale. Last round here. Inhale. And exhale. Staying in this posture through the full expression. As you soften into that exhale, you can wiggle the toes, bounce the feet, or the legs to unwind. And then from here, we'll bring the hands into heart center. I find it helps a little bit in this posture if you bring your hands to your seat and move a little of that extra muscle out beneath you to get an even better connection with your sit bones and the earth. And then again, hands come to heart center. Big breath in, sweeping arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward, melting out the hips. Now option this evening to support this pose, sliding your prop beneath your knees, creating this really nice supported forward fold. And then letting the hands rest wherever they do, sinking into your stretch and breathing into wherever you're still feeling the tension. Letting the head and neck relax, shoulders soften down the back. Just breathe. So your only job here is to breathe. As your body adjusts to gravity and the use of your breath here, maybe you start to find a deeper expression of this pose. You start to surrender just a little bit deeper onto yourself. Relax your jaw, soften the muscles of your face, breathe deeply. Slowly on your next inhale, make your way up one vertebra at a time. And as you come up to a full seated posture, we're going to slide that prop out from beneath us. Just again, dropping it off to the side here. From this posture, we're going to hug our right knee into the chest. You can plant it here, just giving ourselves a nice hug. And then using our left elbow to scoop around our right leg, we're going to wrap our right arm behind us, creating a nice twist in the torso. So taking that extended left leg, pressing through the heel, just like we did in that seated staff pose, and then maybe even bringing our gaze over our right shoulder. Breathing here, sitting tall and strong. Slowly unwinding the way we came in to bringing the head back, bringing the right arm back, and the left arm to find that neutral posture. Now from our neutral posture here, keeping our foot where it is, we're just going to open that right leg up to the side. So option here to again support yourself by just sliding your prop underneath that right leg for a little bit of extra help here. And then bringing hands to heart center, we're going to take a deep breath in, sweeping arms overhead. Exhale, hinging forward. Melt over your left leg. Breathe deeply. Relaxing again the head and the neck as you find the edge of your sensation. Inhale, slowly come up. We're going to keep our legs as they are, creating more of an arm variation here to change the stretch towards the deeper back area of our back. So we're going to take our left arm and sliding our left arm as long as we can towards our left foot. And once we find kind of our point or that sensation, the edge of our sensation, we'll take our right arm, sweeping the right arm overhead, reaching towards the toes. So keeping our gaze towards our pointed knee or our bent knee, and then wrapping that arm overhead, continuing to open the chest. So I like to press my left arm into the leg to open the chest up a little bit more. And sometimes that means backing off with my right extension, but I can still adjust as I get into that more twisted position. Breathing here for a couple breaths. Your next inhale, slowly come up, keeping the legs as they are. We're going to bring our right arm behind our back, sweeping the left arm around and in front of our face, opening up as we press into our right leg, lifting the hips and pressing the hips open. You can reach that left arm behind you, opening the chest up even more. And exhale. Slowly make your way back down. As you come back to the seated posture, we're just going to unwind and take that same series to the other side. So we'll move our prop off to our left side here, extending the right leg long. We'll start by drawing the left leg into the chest. Into the chest, hugging that knee in, taking our right arm, sweeping our right arm around for a nice hug here. And opening up with our left arm to plant the left fingertips behind our back, opening up the chest just a little bit more here. Gaze will travel over your left shoulder if it feels good. And coming out just the way we came in, gaze comes back, left arm comes back to support the leg, right arm comes down by the side. Opening the leg up to the side now. If you used a prop on your right side, you may want to use that on your left as well. And then again, just finding that position, straightening that through that right leg, pressing through the heel very energetically here. Hands come into heart center. Big breath in, sweep arms overhead. Exhale, fold or hinge at the hips, melting forward, breathing deeply. Again, you may notice differences side to side. Typically, one is a little bit more flexible than the other. Again, that's totally normal. Just acknowledge it. Breathing deeply into the stretch. And changing this position into our head to big toe, we'll slowly come up on our next inhale. From here, we're using our right hand to slide on the inside of our right leg, reaching until we find the edge. Then using our left arm to open up towards the left side, pressing the right arm into the leg, and reaching the left arm overhead towards the big toe. Breathing here. And inhale, slowly coming up. And again, do that fun little transition here. Bringing the left hand down by our left hip, sweeping our right hand overhead, pressing into the left knee and lifting the hips. Exhale, slowly come back down. As you make your way down here, we're going to bring both feet to about hips width distance, walking them in towards the body. And then keeping our prop handy here, we're slowly going to lower down to the ground, coming all the way down to our back. As we make our way down to our backs, let's draw the knees into the chest and gently just rock side to side to release the low back. From here, we're rolling all the way to our right side, coming up on our right elbow, just to give us a little bit of space. We're going to take our prop now, and you have a couple options for support. If you're looking for an opening of the chest, take your prop horizontal, just where it would like rest kind of like right by your shoulders, in between like your shoulders and your rib cage. So this was my back. If you are looking for a little bit more of a broader opening throughout like the torso and everything like that, you can take your prop vertically in between and just allow that to support the entire spine. Pick an option that works for you. Again, there's no right or wrong. And then we'll come back to that seated posture with the knees in towards the chest, just like we got in, and slowly lowering down onto the prop. So for this purpose, for myself, I'd like a little bit more of an opening in just the chest. So I'm going to let the shoulders come to really the top edge of my pillow and letting the head come down to the mat. I'm going to keep my arms out in a goal-posted position, but you can also just extend them long by your side. And then slowly walking the legs out. Breathing here. Let all of gravity and your body weight do the work here. If you prefer to take more of a hip opener in this position, you can bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees go out wide. Again, if you'd like more support, just slide pillows or props underneath your knees. And you're good to go. Just settle right back into your breath. Wherever you are, whichever variation your body chooses for you. Just honor it wherever you're at. Again, finding your way back to flipping the switch and always coming back to gratitude. The moment those negative thoughts come in, flip your switch, find gratitude. Feeling the belly rise and fall. Relaxing the muscles of the face, unclenching the jaw. Deepening the breath. From this position, feel free to stay here for a little bit longer. If you're ready to move on to our final Shavasana, we're slowly going to again roll to our right side, using our right arm to prop our chest up, removing the props from beneath us, and then slowly coming back to the ground. We'll bring our knees in towards the chest, Reaching through to grab the inside or outside arches of the feet. Taking happy baby, rocking side to side. Finding one more spine lengthening pose here. Feel the stress just coming out of the back. Melting down into the ground. Give it all to the earth here. Know that you are supported, you are grounded, you are loved, and you are held right here, right now. Making your way to stillness. Releasing the feet, keep the knees into the chest. Wrap your arms around your shins, lift the shoulders, neck, and head off the mat. Squeeze everything in as tight as you can. Give yourself a giant hug here, full of love and gratitude, just directed directly at yourself. Deep breath in. Exhale to Shavasana, arms and legs extend long. Take up space. Move yourself off your mat if you would like. The palms face up, the shoulders walk a little closer together. Subtle tuck of the chin. Just fall right back into the steady rhythm of your breath. Relax the muscles in the face. Relax the jaw. Soften the space between the eyebrows. Be right here, right now. Just breathe. Reading now from Melody Beattie's A Journey to the Heart. Learn to relax. We all need to learn how to relax, how to unwind. For some, that's relaxing, healing, soothing, and available to you. Sit in the sun. Sit in the tub. Take a trip to a nearby hot spring or mineral bath in your state. Perch atop a mountain or hill, taking in the view from above. Let yourself sit and soak in it for as long as you can. Let yourself be as still for as long as you can. Move around a bit if you need to, but then go back. Try again. Release your fidgets and come back to stillness. Don't do it just once. Try it often. Allow yourself to relax. Give yourself opportunities to unwind. Soon you'll learn how. Pay attention to whatever you think and feel when you try to relax. Watch as a neutral observer, without judgment or reproach. What thoughts come to mind? How do you feel? What do you feel? Go as deeply into your thoughts and feelings as you are able. Sit quietly for as long as you can. When your body is done, it will tell you. Let yourself sit and soak in it for as long as you can. Let yourself be still for as long as you can. Move around a bit if you need to, then go back and try again. Release fidgets, but always come back to stillness. Yogis, you are more than welcome to stay right here in Shavasana for as long as you would like. Soak in every last moment of this beautiful stillness that you have created for yourself. Continue to play the neutral observer in your own life, within your practice, within your relationships, especially that relationship with yourself. Again, sit here for as long as you'd like. When you're ready to move on, slowly take some deeper inhales and exhales, inviting some space and movement into the body. Start to wiggle the fingers and toes. Nod your head from side to side. Open and close the jaw. When you're ready, inhale, float the arms overhead. Take a full body stretch. Press the feet away from the arms, just like you're waking up for the first time today. On your exhale, roll to one side. Place your head on your arms. Draw the knees in towards the chest, coming into fetal asana. You're in fetal posture. Just extend any last moments of gratitude towards yourself, but know that you can also extend moments of gratitude at any time. You can always return to this place of stillness, this peace that you have created for yourself. Finally, extend gratitude for all of our beautiful yogis that have joined us today, and for the ancient tradition of yoga that has been shared with us. Pressing the chest up, find a seated position, bringing the hands in to heart center. Keep the eyes closed here. Student, the teacher, the light within me, honors and sees the student, the teacher, the light within each and every one of you. And together we are all one. Bringing our hands up to our third eye center, we seal our practice. Namaste. Thank you, thank you, thank you, beautiful, beautiful yogis, for showing up, for making it